All right, here we are. So I had to set up the Xbox Game Pass. Why is it? Hold on. Oh, that's just that. So it looks like we got Ghostwire coming up. I've been wanting to play Ghostwire for a while too. I heard it wasn't that good, but I want to try this out when it comes on Game Pass. I'm gonna play this. I heard it wasn't that good, but I still remember it just has a cool looking like theme and art style, so I'll definitely fuck with it. What else we got? Wolfenstein is a great game, and I remember playing the first one, and it was good. I thought it was really good, but it also has these weird. I just hate when games have these random weird difficulty spikes out of nowhere, and there's no reason to even have it in there. Kind of, I just hate. And that game would tend to have these. From what I remember, it would be these weird difficulty spikes that would just kind of kill the whole. It just killed the vibe. And in this game, I really wanted to play this, and I was just let down. I didn't care for it at all. Yeah, you guys see that. Yeah, like the voice acting was great. The mother or whoever that was, she was great. But like, I think this game got really shitted on because it was pretty much a what they call a co-op game disguised as a single player game, and it was just ridiculous. Like the difficulty, it was just ridiculous. I just couldn't play that at all. I played it for like an hour and just uninstalled it immediately. Let's see what else they got on here. F122. I think I'm gonna download this later. I'm gonna download this not while I'm live streaming because I like Formula One. I just haven't played one in probably about 2 years now. It's all. I mean, a lot of it's gonna be the same shit because it's just cars. You know what I mean? And Codemasters notoriously doesn't upgrade anything except bullshit. So no real rush for that. They're pretty much the Madden of racing. Let me get my water real fast. So let's see what else is on here. Oh, I had Halo for you. I used to do Halo before. So I'm just gonna check out the games for a minute. Yo, what's up here? Yo, what's up, Elijah? What's up, Steven Smith? You got Xbox on today? Yeah, no, yeah. This is Xbox Game Pass. This isn't. I don't have an Xbox Series S or whatever, Series X. This is Game Pass on PC. Let's see. DMG, what's up, DMG? What's up, man? Yesterday's live stream was good. Mo, yo, yes, I felt like I was like randomly rambling, even a bit for my taste last night. I felt like it was a shitty stream, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was a shitty one. But yeah, I felt like I was randomly rambling, and jumping from topic to topic a bit too fast, even for my liking. And for me, that's bad. I think I had Sea of Thieves. I think I did have it. I think I uninstalled it. I think this is the cartoon pirate game? Yeah. I liked it. But it got a little too weirdly creepy for me when you be lost at sea. And like I just have a weird. Here's the thing, like I tried to play Subnautica too. I do not I severely hate being underwater in video games. Like it fucks my anxiety up just playing it, right? I severely feel uncomfortable with being underwater in a video game. And I like this game. Yeah, you guys can see the picture. Hang on, let me move this real fast. Sea of Thieves was really good. I would recommend it. I recommend it. My thing was you pretty much had to read the map. You had your own ship, and if you got under attack, like your ship would start like leaking and water would come in. So you had to go downstairs and get a bucket and scoop the water out and dump it out to get it all out and fix it. I thought it was a really fun game. The reason why I quit playing this game was because of my anxiety issues of being underwater. Even if it's a video game, because there's some kind of way. I think I was trying to get to another island. And you had to read the map. I think it was a good game. I would highly recommend it. But you had to read a map, and I was trying to get to another island, and I came across this real bad storm, which was amazing, but it wrecked my ship, and I went underwater, and I couldn't really see much, and then this like weird angel woman just came. It was pretty much like a Subnautica situation where it turned into like a lightweight, like a psychological thriller / horror game. It turned into it like real quick, and it just threw me off so. But that part just threw me off so much. I just never touched it. I think I'm pretty sure I uninstalled it. Do I still have it? Yeah, I uninstalled it. Yeah, I might play this tonight. No, I might play this just because this is a good. This game, I think after I play a bit of well, that first we got to just hope that the video game stream will be okay because whenever I stream a video game, it's either runs great for 5 hours straight or it runs like shit 10 minutes in. I never know. I don't know how to fix it. So if I'm gonna play the hi-fi game for a while, I'm gonna play one level of that. It's usually about an hour from how I'm playing it. From my speed, I guess it's taking about an hour. So I'm gonna finish the next level, and I think I'm because I've been meaning to put this one up. I've been meaning to play this. Um, it's a weird puzzle game. I forget what you call this. Let me see. Do they have it? The genre. I forget what you call this genre, but it's a very specific genre where like you can adjust sizes. But it's one of those things you really just have to see it to know what I'm talking about. Like if let's say like if it was like a cell phone, right? If you were like up to the phone, like if you zoom the person's like face up to the phone and then stop and then try to pick it up, the phone would be like this big, like no matter it would be like that big. Like it's a perception game. It's really hard to explain until you just see it and it's like, oh, I get it now, type of thing. And it's really interesting. It really is. It really is a game. These games are really underrated. And I think these mechanics could really be used as genuinely interesting, unlike the game Control. I think the game Control was just a huge waste of fucking time for what it was. After you play a game like this, Superliminal is what Control wanted to be, but just couldn't fit. Just was too stuck on being Max Payne and couldn't figure out how to be genuinely interesting and actually lead to something. I think Superliminal, these games are very underrated games. And they're missing I think they're missing like one or two factors to like make it just like the shit. Like maybe like add in like Max Payne in this actually super games like Superliminal, but like Control, in my opinion, there was a big hype behind Control. I had it. I still got it on PS4 and I just didn't care for it. And here's I didn't have an issue with the woman being the main character. I didn't think she was bad. I didn't think that. It was just the overall theme of the game. It tried to be something. It tried to be something that was way too big than it was capable of being. It was a pretentious. In my opinion, it was a pretentious goal. It tried to be way too big. It tried to be way more than it had the capabilities of being. Did you ever play Ninja Gaiden? Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, I played Ninja Gaiden. The only reason I downloaded it now is because I played it when it was on Xbox, the first Xbox or X. Yeah, I think I used to love those because with the nunchucks, after I got the ninja flails or whatever, that was it, and I had all the combos memorized on it. The nunchucks on Ninja Gaiden were the shit. I never used any other weapon. After you get the nunchucks, that's all I'm using from then on. But I played a little bit of it in here, but I just didn't stick with it. Like it's one of them things, man. If I play a game like that before, if I'm like, for example, I can keep playing new Bayonettas when they come out because this Bayonetta genuinely kind of grows in one way or another. But the Ninja Gaiden games, they didn't, in my opinion, like they didn't really grow. Now I did play them all when they came out. The one I didn't play was the one that Ninja Theory made. That's the only one. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the only one I didn't beat. I beat all the other ones. But the one that when Ninja Theory came in, that's the one I did. Because that one, they had like a legit series of stealth missions and it had tanks and you fought helicopters and all this shit. Like I just did like Ninja Theory just lost me with that, so I didn't play it. I that's the only one I think I just sold it and got rid of it because they lost me with that. This is good. Immortal. I like this. I like the Immortals Phoenix Rising. I didn't play a lot of it because Immortals Phoenix Rising is a nice casual faux Zelda, hold you over until a new Zelda comes out type of game. I'm ready to play this in a minute. Death Stranding wasn't too bad, but it wasn't the greatest either. Atomic Heart, I played like the first probably about hour of it when my girl was in there cooking dinner one night, and I mean, my opinion of it, I didn't play. To be fair, I didn't play a lot of it, But the mechanics are just too clunky. I appreciate it more for the time in history. It was from what I was able to see of it. Atomic Heart was. Oh, it's not even gonna let me click on it because it's updating. Shit, I hope I didn't just start it. Um, Atomic Heart is pretty. Well, from what I'm being able to understand from where I am in the game, is based off of a time period where communism actually worked out, and you know it worked. It was like it worked out in the best case, the relatively speaking best case scenario where the best scientists were just that, and then like people just played their roles, so technology grew a whole lot faster. That would be how communism would work on paper, but it doesn't work like that in real life. They just kind of like attack a people from the top down and say you do this, you do that, and then like with the finger over them type of shit, and it just didn't work. Have you been playing your Switch lately? No, it's right behind his laptop. No, I haven't even touched it in a long time. It's got dust on it. It's behind the laptop now. We're gonna fire this up. I like this game, except for the parry. The parry is I like this game. I really do. And just as far as I made in this game, they definitely gonna make another part to it because it's just too. The presentation is too well done. The characters are too well done. The art style is too well done. There's no way they're gonna make this and then not make another one. Type of shit. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. What's up, Jen? What game? Oh, yeah. So, hey, Bill Lazar, we playing high. As long as the stream works well, we're gonna play Hi-Fi Rush, and then I'm gonna show Superliminal. Fuck, I gotta figure out. Hold on, I gotta. I'm trying to figure what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. Oh, it did. Fuck, it did fire this one up. I didn't mean to do that. So I gotta. Yeah, shit. Hang on. Where the fuck? Oh, let's try audio. See, okay, hang on. Let's try this. Because I can't hear anything. Hang on, I'm trying to fix this audio. Hang on. Yo, thanks for that donation, man. Or a subscription. I don't know what it was, but I'm trying to figure out this audio real fast. Did I just remove it? Microphone, AirPods, wireless controller. Alexa, go into pairing mode.
Searching. Now connected to desktop 7T1SS8L.
There we go. So let me know if that's too loud in the comment section. You know what, Elijah? I don't play much Bethesda. I don't know much about Bethesda because I think didn't Bethesda make like Skyrim and shit like that. I'm not. I never played Skyrim. That's the one of the games that people love. Like that's one of the games that people love that I've never touched. Not one, not for 1 second. I've never played Skyrim, so I know literally nothing about it. I know people love it. I know people really love it. See, it's skipping already. I can see it.
So, what does
But yeah,
an awesome guy like me do now?
I've never touched Skyrim.
I guess even rock stars need to get up.
What's up, Akaya? I hope I pronounced that right. Have you played the Stanley Parable? Super. I've heard of it. Yeah, Yusuf, I got Game Pass. Yeah, this is on Xbox Game Pass on PC. I've heard of Stanley Parable. I think I might have played a little bit of that a while ago because there was a couple. There was another one called like Zion or Tion or some shit like that. I got into some of those, and for some reason, like I just couldn't. They just didn't stick with me for any period of time. Well, same with Superliminal. I just it's just in my it's in my Xbox Game Pass library, but like okay, here we go.
So, what's the plan now that we defeated the big bad?
I think it's premature to celebrate.
Don't think you realize it yet.
Appreciate you putting your life on the line, but you gotta snap out of it.
They also made the new Doom games. Oh, word. What the fuck is this?
Wait, snap out of what?
You totally got caught by Corsica.
You mean... Oi! Oi! Oi!
You fell asleep again.
Am I under oath?
I'll make this simple. Tell me where the rest of your team is hiding.
Why don't you shut down that AI for me? Then we'll talk.
What's this obsession with Spectra anyway? You want to know what it is? It's a simple firmware update, like we have on all our robotics.
Sounds like someone hasn't seen the code or whatever. It's a mind control AI.
Or whatever.
Oh, right.
This game is Hi-Fi Rush, Steven. Hi-Fi Rush or something like that?
Full access to Spectra. Maybe you should look into that.
I'm too tired for this. Take a nap and get the Spectra nonsense out of your system. First thing tomorrow's your last chance to come clean.
Get the Spectra nonsense out of your system. I'll show her. Just gotta find a way out. Man, 808's never around when you... Huh? I knew you wouldn't let me down.
All right. I mean, surprised as I am, your plan worked, Jai.
Really?
This is called reciprocity.
So, what do we do now?
Might want to start with getting out of that cell.
Let's make some noise.
No, Randy, I didn't. I haven't seen the episode. Somebody brought. I think maybe you brought it up a couple of days ago, but I haven't seen it with Andrew Tate on South Park. I want to see. I just don't think to watch it, or I just forget. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's good though. Hold on. First, I gotta go to. Let's try this too. But I'm trying to find the fuck. Here it is on stream. Yeah. So now there's no music that's gonna be played. Oh, if I gotta restart it all the way, fuck. So I had to turn on streamer mode. So somebody would be like, "You played our music," and fucking take and just block the whole fucking stream. The audio's too low. Let's move it a little closer. Because a logical way would be to have the audio run through the Elgato capture card into the MacBook, like, you know, common sense would tell you, but it just doesn't pick it up for some reason. It's just, maybe it's just some overly convoluted way where I can't figure it out. But that would.
What's the plan now that we defeated the big bad?
Let's try. Hang on.
Premature to celebrate.
Yeah, because all the other audio is up.
You realized it yet?
Appreciate you putting your life on the line, but you gotta snap out of it.
No, because then I can't hear it. Okay, we already seen this. Can you not skip the scene? You have to watch it. Oh no, there it is.
I'll make this simple. Tell me where the rest of your team is hiding.
Why don't you shut down that AI for me? Then we'll talk.
Well, take a nap.
What's up, Friday night?
Nonsense out of your system.
Long time since you've been, or a long time since I played a video game on live stream? Jiminy fucking Christmas.
Now, where were we? Peppermint, mission report.
Yeah, it looks like it's smooth so far.
Got the plan again?
Mr. Chai, listening is also a part of communication.
Hey, I'm doing my best, okay?
We need Corsica's password.
This is good, good. Go on.
And since you're in security now...
Wait, I got it. I should find Corsica.
Just go. See if you can figure out where she went.
Peppermint, come on.
Need help?
Try this out.
All eyes on her.
Oh. And I don't know why. The crazy part is it's skipping on me playing it. It's running smoother in Streamlabs than it is for me, like, on the PC. I always have, like, the jankiest experiences with streaming a game. It's always some super janky shit. This game runs super smooth when it's just me playing it. And now it's smoother on here than it is over here. It's smoother on Streamlabs now than it is on the actual PC that I'm playing on. Wait, yeah, because this game likes to hide secrets. Can I even get up there? Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you. Moving that shit out of my way. Oh! How the fuck was I supposed to know that was getting ready to happen? Okay, they are moving in. Okay. So you gonna just stay out now? And you guys, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like it's running smooth on Streamlabs. I'm like getting like probably 18 frames a second on the actual PC, which makes no fucking sense, except for the Elgato card just being a piece of fucking shit. Cause it So let's see what's going on.
Engaging security lasers.
Looks like Zonzo's lasers made it here.
Attention, this is Corsica. There's some sort of security destabilization in Wing 1. I have something else requiring my attention.
Yeah, I gotta just play on the Streamlabs because it's lagging too bad. This is Elgato just fucking up. Like I just can't play on the actual screen. Let me make this bigger. Like I legitimately can't even play it. This is how shitty like video game streaming is. Like I legit can't even play it on the actual PC. I have to play it in the Streamlabs app that's hooked up to my MacBook.
Security problem?
You're the boss.
What? You don't know me? I'm
Try. Shut up and play along.
here to...
Good. Because no one's getting out of here till that's done.
Yes, you gotta have those.
Nodes, man, not codes.
That elevator in front of you connects us to the lift, which takes us to Corsica's wing. Guess we got a job to do.
First man's across the elevator.
Oh my god.
Up to access the other two up top.
Hard labor. Not my jam.
Why, for real, like I'd rather it run like shit on the PC than on the stream. If I had to pick one. I'd be alright.
Do I really have to do this?
Please do not forget. You will be mind control, not us.
Perspective, little guy. We take Corsica's password, and we're halfway there.
3 more Vandalay bosses means 3 passwords. Then we can turn off Spectra.
3 plus 3 is 6, Peppermints. I can do math. I'm not dumb. Figures there'd be security and security. You got this back. Hold it, Todd.
I have no idea how to fight this guy. Oh my god. Oh, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. What? Yo, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do right now.
See if you can power its counterattack. Should give you the upper hand.
Yo, ain't nobody got time for that. And that is a good part about this game is that there's always a new enemy to fight, which I never knew how just important that was for a video game. To just not just keep giving you the same bad guys over and over again. And that's a good thing that this game does do.
I could probably lock their data streams in place with my blaster when the spheres open up.
Here we go.
Come on!
What?
Come on, you called?
Bingo.
Oh.
Should be enough.
Need help? Let's go!
Why come she ain't
Go get him, guys!
shoot the fucking...
Come on, try this out!
How come... See, I don't know why she's not shooting the thing.
Your turn.
Let's go!
Sure, Peppermint.
Need help?
Okay.
Probably not that last one here.
See, I'm holding it. It's not moving. Oh my god. Now I'm just getting tired of doing it. And this is another bad part about this game. That this is the other bad part about this game. It hits these like weird, like, you have to do it like with this ridiculous restraint on time to like be perfect with the beat. But it's like these just weird, awkward, like it's just too punishing and I can't get past it. And you just can't do anything. It just like, honestly, it destroys the flow of the game. Like this game really, it does that a little too much and it just kind of kills the whole flow of it. But overall, it's still a good game though. But like it's just these weird little areas like that to the point where you just get I just get tired of doing it. Oh, here's some more of this parrying shit. I got stuck for like an hour on this shit, on like the introductory course it is. Like, it's not as easy as it looks. It's really not as easy to do. Like go if you don't believe, go and Google parrying in this game, and there's a ton of people who just stop playing at that point because it does these things where you just can't get past it, and they make you do it. Because I thought it was just me with the problem, and like I Googled it, and it definitely wasn't just me. It was filled with motherfuckers that they just gave up on the whole game because of that. But it's a great game. Like overall, I could recommend it for sure. Are you doing a live stream quest day? I don't know. How do I donate? It should be in the description. The Cashapp is $AustriaDick, just a name. What's over here? Probably hiding some secret. Oh shit, I didn't do that.
No problem, guy.
Like when it comes to the combat, it's fairly like it's up there with like Bayonetta mixed with Devil May Cry. Like it really is a great game. If it was just all combat, it'd be so much better of a game, I think. And they let go, and they just got rid of the whole parry mechanic overall because it's just awful. But it really is a great game. Yeah, shit. But donations in the subscription, man. Steven. If you don't, yo, thanks a lot for just even asking.
Let me out there. All right, so.
Oh shit! Didn't mean to do that. Is it skipping in the stream? Looks pretty stable to me. Oh my god, I was ziplining to the left. I was pressing L1 to zipline to the left. He just wouldn't move for some reason. Or maybe I just fucking suck. Ah, fuck.
This will be easy. Whoops.
Gotta do this shit again. See, like, this is the shit that sucks, man. Like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's these, like, modes where, like, you have to do something, and it, like, the beat just doesn't catch on. Like, it's just these, like, infuriating moments like that.
Ready for this?
Maybe I just suck. Own that shit. Oh, okay, I see.
Sure, Peppermint. Oh, no down, no down.
They don't look too heavy. I should be able to get it back in place.
Get him, macaroni.
Let me at them.
That one wasn't too bad.
Lock us in?
Looks like there's a route out near the main data stream.
Check it out, Ty. We still need to turn on the other data now.
Let's hope this gets me back to the main chamber. A lot of security for an air duct.
What? Okay, I don't care. Oh, fuck. Oh, in a big ass circle. Oh my god, I gotta do this shit again. Okay, well at least they didn't make me do all that silly shit. So I probably gotta go over there. Where the red lights are still not. Where there's the green is not even on down there. They're not even blue. I guess I gotta go over here. Yeah, I got no idea. I had no idea where to go. Isn't this where I went already?
Oh, wow. You see.
Oh, this is where I came out. This is where I came in, I mean. I remember this. I don't know.
Try this out.
Come on.
Peppermint.
Yeah.
Oh, you see this route?
Okay, here we are.
No, I don't think Corsica's like the other bosses.
Meaning.
She's less insane. Also, she seemed genuinely surprised when I said Spectra is an AI built for mind control.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
She didn't immediately try to kill you. Unusual compared to the other bosses.
I don't see why they keep the head of security in the dark about Spectra. Not unless management doesn't trust her.
All I can get. Come here. I'm here. Needs health. thought you were playing Jet Set. You know, I never got to play Jet Set Radio. I think they re-released it. Maybe not a remaster, but just kind of like just put it back. I think they came back. I never got to play Jet Set Radio, and at this point, I'm afraid to even play it now because I feel like I'm gonna miss too much of I feel like I'm gonna miss too much of what it was supposed to be because, like, you know, it came out now, or I'm playing it just way too late. But I tell you a game that didn't fit that, which I thought that would've, was Fable. I played Fable fucking like way like a decade later, and Fable was still a good game. I would definitely Fable 2 and 3. I like both of them. I think a lot of people didn't like Fable 3. I think it was Fable 3. I never played Fable 1, but Fable 2 and 3. Fable 2 was great in my opinion because you had to prepare for that war. And you could go out there and make money. Hang on. And but I love Fable. And I played that like I said, I played Fable
Get back to our buddy downstairs.
literally like a decade late, and I loved it. With I feel like Jet Set Radio is just old enough to where I might fuck around and miss everything it was like originally meant to be. On that thing. So how am I supposed to get on here? Oh, this sounds good on y'all. My man, where am I supposed to go after that? Are you fucking serious? What the fuck am I supposed to do? Yo, what am I Oh, okay, I see.
Can you wait? Hi, guys.
No, I want you to. Yeah, that's what I was wanting. Oh my god, I can't see. Okay. Oh, they let me actually get it. I didn't think they was gonna let me do it. It's so sensitive sometimes. What? Okay.
Wow, you actually did it.
You sound surprised.
Well, I mean, how much can you...
What?
Yeah, nah.
Hipster?
It's the best.
For the record, I'm offended. But for now, I'll just leave.
Don't see why not. Central elevator's working so you can access the lift out.
What a nice robot friend you made there.
What? What? No, he made fun of my pants.
Who cares? Ugh. We're finished here. Ride the elevator down and we'll take the lift to Corsica's room.
I, for one, Mr. Chai, like your pants.
Your timing, but thank you, Cindy.
No, I need. Hang on, not this shit.
Unauthorized entry detected.
It's never easy.
Oh my god, hit him. Yeah. Okay.
Dunzo.
That was a fun ride. I wonder what's next.
Yeah, that's the end of the level. So that was a short level. It's like 45 minutes. Felt like fucking forever when you get stuck on those beat. Like the beat looks like it would be easy, but it's like it's not easy when.
Lift should be just ahead.
As we
That's
worked
not
to
it.
Closer to Corsica. And that went pretty well up there. You're breaking me out, working together.
That's what we do, little guy. We're a team.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Maybe it's not easy because I want to play it like Bayonetta.
The defect who I thought we secured got away. What the hell? Not only that, you have fixed their security system. I should be angry, but let's just say my feelings right now are mixed. Yeah. Mixed.
A vague praise. I'll take it.
What time
In
is
other
it?
words, APB on the kid.
8:30.
Follow him.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
C-Boy realized I started a video game channel.
Watch out, Chad. They're ready to ambush you on the lift.
Oh, these guys are like the dude upstairs. They don't
Word.
know it. See?
Well, thanks a lot
Vandalating employees.
for the
Get to know.
Yeah.
opinion.
Just as
Stop him!
Nah, this is the guy that fixed the security system, man.
Idiots! That's the defect!
Mind if I join?
Hey,
Sorry, mate.
Let's get this rolling.
anytime now.
Hold them off. Next up, Corsica's Wing.
This is Hi-Fi Rush. I think that's the name of it. C-Boy. It's really a game. It has a little hang-up. It has some hang-ups in it, but it's overall I think it's great. It's a great production. Good, really good combat system. I think it's for a hack and slash. I think it's a great game. It just has these weird hang-ups that just will frustrate the fuck out of me sometimes. But it's good. I like it. And maybe I'm just like I'm a sucker for music. Like if a game just has decent or good music in it, that'll just boost it up so much higher for me. Maybe I shouldn't have got that so soon.
Wind in my hair. You know, this is actually refreshing.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying this.
Maybe you're wrong for once, Peppermint. Might be smooth riding.
This game has a sweet art style. Yeah, that's why I say yeah. The art, the cell shaded. I don't know if you would call. Yeah, this classifies as cell shaded. I think. But yeah, the art style, the music, like everything, like the production value is excellent. That's not like, okay, now one issue I do have that's kind of nitpicking with it is the camera. Like when I'm fighting, the camera kind of just gets in the way. Like it doesn't shift properly. But overall, though, it's still a great experience.
Due to construction, oncoming debris is expected to get irresponsible folks in the lift.
Seriously?
Accidents, mirrors, and injuries not covered by our company insurance.
Watch out, guys!
I legit didn't see the first one till like the last second. I wasn't paying attention to the floor. I thought that was just like part of the, just like the lighting of it or something. That shit was a complete accident.
Mr. Child, you must be confused. A boy needs to let them not be cute.
Here come reinforcements.
Whoa, range.
Just let me at him. More of them coming.
Dodge.
I have no idea what that blue shit is gonna do if it hits me. I'm just staying out the way of it.
I'm enjoying the ride, but this is one long tunnel.
You think wing 1 and 2 would be right next to each other, huh?
More construction ahead. Minus the debris. Thank you.
Again? What are they even constructing?
This finna be a breeze. Going through a tunnel? This finna be a breeze.
Hopefully no more of that.
Kid still on the left?
I bought Demon Slayer on Nintendo Switch, which is similar art style. The anime is dope. I think the game will be too. I gotta check into that. I don't know much. I don't know about that. I think I heard of it.
Gotta get those brakes off. Switch it up. Let me have a go.
That's what I tried to do. You came out and.
Ready for this? Oh, God.
What? Oh.
They're really pulling out all the stops.
Okay, that's the only time you get for this mission.
Oh my god. I immediately regret using that early. Oh, I had to keep doing that. I didn't know I was on a time limit. Oh shit, I didn't know I was on it. I legit didn't even know I was on a time limit at all.
Kid still on the left? Oh, come on, guys. Get it together. Put the brakes on that thing.
Gotta get those brakes off.
You watched the trailer for.
Let me have a go.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, I didn't even see that timer up there. It was up there the whole time. And that's dumb because he's on a time limit before he can come out anyway, so you automatically are like at a. See, it's like little shit that like pisses me off about this game, like that. And then the camera just doesn't like snap properly at all. It's like for every great thing, it's like something that just like holds it back at the last minute.
They're really pulling out all the stops.
Okay, that's the only time you get for this mission.
Another one down.
All right, there. I knew there was a time limit.
Now arriving at security wing 2.
So I was thinking, yeah, with no break.
Oh yeah, it's Java. Yeah, Zelda. That shit looks. That's gonna be gangster. That's gonna be great. It'd be hard to fuck that up to where like
Oh, now you want my help.
knowing how Zelda is with the makers of Zelda. It would be. I think it'd be hard for them to fuck that up. But if they don't do it right, I think it could get old. Just like making a stick and a rock being super strong, unless they come up with some way around it, or like just making any bomb, any shield, essentially a smoke bomb by putting a mushroom on it, or making any arrow like a guided missile, pretty much. If you just put an eye on the tip of the arrow, I think like they're gonna have to come with creative ways to counter that, so people just don't spam it the whole time. But here's the thing, like low key, I'm a little let
I
down
want to hold on to something.
because
See ya.
with Breath of the Wild, that was like a whole new type of adventure for a Zelda game, right? So like everything was totally new. Whereas with this new Zelda, we're just going back in the territory we already know. So now they got to like go above that first high of like coming to a brand new type of like, you know, mechanic of Zelda type of shit, right? Where weapons can break, which I personally like the weapons breaking. I thought that was a good addition. It added to a whole set of problems that you could have. I liked it. I really enjoyed the fact that every and any weapon you can get can break, can burn up, whatever the fuck, right? And all the metals and the materials had, you know, relatively realistic issues. Like there was one mission where I had to make electricity like link up. And I ended up having like an electric bow. I mean, I'm sorry, an electric arrow, and I had a metal sword, and it worked how it should have worked. It linked up properly. Like I thought it was great. I really enjoyed Zelda. There wasn't much I didn't like for it, except for like I think the one elephant mission where you were like inside that one elephant and you had to get it to like level properly. I didn't get that whole mission. I thought was just a waste of fucking time. But especially they're doing this on a Nintendo Switch on top of that. Like I think it's great. But again, like I'm not even gonna like a little bit of me is a little let down and a little hesitant to get the new Zelda because it's not gonna have that same sense of freshness and newness because they're just building on top of a previous Zelda. So it's like that freshness and newness is just not gonna of like wondering what's gonna happen next type of shit is just not gonna be there. I mean, it can, and maybe they could build up with the new mechanics, but like I don't know. I still have plenty of faith that it will be good. Don't get me wrong. I still have a ton of faith that it won't be a piece of shit. But let me switch this. I still have faith that is not going to be a total piece of shit. But on the other end, like a part of me is a little let down because it's just, you know, the same shit. Well, because the mechanics look like it could end up being gangster as fuck. Like, doing the math on it, you can make cars or flying machines or just a big ass like you can just it looks like you can just make makeshift ways around things. It looks like the ultimate sandbox game now, right? That might actually be like legitimately decently functional in many different ways, right? Or maybe I'm late. Maybe Minecraft already did a lot of this shit. I don't know because I'm admittedly behind in video games. Let me turn this light on. But yeah, I'm really excited for it for sure. I'm really excited for it. Anime gets weird though. They over-sexualize their female characters to the point it gets uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to keep in mind a certain character as a teenager. Yeah. What's this? Oh, what's this? RT? So yeah, your comment showing up on the YouTube channel, but it's not showing up in my Streamlabs thing. So it says, AD, can you go into depth? Can you go in depth about blacks being the only race to glorify acting like teens, but yet complaining about equal treatment? Blacks being the only race to glorify acting like teens, but yet complain about equal treatment. Yeah, I go a bit more in depth because I don't think I'm understanding that properly. How blacks being the only race to glorify acting like teens, but yet complain about equal treatment. Okay, so I'm going to answer that the best way that I'm understanding it off the top of my head right now. Okay, basically, because I may understand it, and I think I'm sorry, I may misunderstand, and I think I'm misunderstanding it, to be honest. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to answer anyway. For how I'm understanding, because I just got done playing it, and my mind's just not really on a proper analyzing wavelength right now. But I'm gonna just still try it anyway. So blacks being the only race to glorify acting like teens yet complain about equal treatment. Okay, I think my opinion of this is because since blacks, and I can specifically speak for African Americans, since the education rates have always been like twice as worst in these communities, there's a certain area, a sense of awareness and growth, and to be honest, let's be honest, a sense of entitlement that comes along with the culture, especially in North America, based off how North America was essentially like made and created. Well, not made and created, but kind of like how it got boosted up to be in the like one of the world superpowers. The education rates are low. The education rates are literally twice as low as every other demographic there, right? So when you add that in on top of culture, generation after generation going through that for whatever the reason, whether it was racism, whatever the fuck, that's besides the point. The point is the education rates are so low that there's a certain sense of awareness and maturity when put in the same playing field as people who are let's just be real, but who are performing at rates twice as better as their culture is, right? The highest that they'll be able to be aware is on a high school level, right? Because this is the highest that the general education rate goes for around like 55 to 60% of the population. Well, okay, right off the bat, 60% of the population in America it only makes it to a high school diploma, right? But on top of that, the added emphasis on the total high school graduation rates and above, African Americans have consistently and chronically been lower than every other demographic there. Mexicans maybe beating them, depending on which demographic, which area you pick from, but African Americans are lower down. So that would make sense as to why they would glorify why when you do hear of blacks glorifying anything, it's going to be some teenage shit. It's either going to be some teenage level shit, or it's I should be entitled to something, right? Because that's as far as that education range would generally that's as far as that range of education will allow the what's the word I'm looking for? Will allow the individual to think in any type of creative way, right? Because there is no more. Because most schools in America, I'm only speaking for America on this regard, in this scenario. Most high schools in America are not going to teach you an actual trade. They're not going to teach you legitimate skills. They're going to teach you just enough to where you don't cut your own fucking hand off, and then that's about it. You got to go off to like a trade school or college to learn anything else extra. Well, now you got YouTube and all that. So I'm also speaking as damn near a boomer. So you got to take that into account too. Times have changed. Now you can just go on YouTube and look up Harvard, Yale, free courses, and just right there. Not even account YouTube, and you can look up any national health statistics, stats, anywhere, all PDFs from, doctors around the world. Now there's, education has another issue of it's flooded with too much and people just don't know where to start on their own. But to answer that question, and I hope I'm answering this well enough. If I had to, it's the education level is what does it. Education is typically going to be, okay, typically in groups and pockets who are doing this, it's going to be the lower educated groups that are going to do this shit of glorified teen, like going out to the clubs and all that, like the club hoppers and shit. When you go in the club, when I say clubs, I mean like clubs. It's usually gonna be you know, like when I'm saying, I mean like hip hop clubs, shit like that. It's usually gonna be, you know, dumb mother. And I don't say dumb like in the sense of offensive, but the lesser educated motherfuckers, right? That's what it's gonna be filled with because they're out trying to chase everything but themselves, right? Because they don't know who they are, so they're trying to chase everything else, and that's inevitably gonna breed high school level drama and shit, high school level drama and issues. On top of that, you factor in that you know, that most of the African American population now is being raised by women, so that's just gonna make it add insult to injury to glorify high school shit. And there you go. That's what it is. So I hope I answered that. Well, how I'm reading it. Can you go? Let me read it one more time. 80. Can you go in depth how blacks being the only race to glorify acting like teens, but yet complain about equal treatment? Yeah. So yeah, and I think and this is the part of the black population in North America that I would recommend any black person who's not in that shit to stay the fuck away from them. Because I got family like that. I got family like that who refuse to finish high school, right? Who refuse to do, like, it's like if you tell them if you try to get them seriously educated on anything, like they damn near want to fight you, like for real. And that's no joke. Like this population is like that. And I got family members like that. If you talk about bettering yourself, they gonna want to fight you for that, right? Because it's this whole issue within them, right? And like I said, so the equal treatment. See, so in this context, the equal treatment damn near comes back to feminism and equal treatment, right? Like the reality of it is these populations of the black majority of the black population is not talking about equal treatment. They're trying to get they're trying to get more benefits, right? Because okay, and I'll be completely blunt and honest about this shit. And motherfucker, somebody gonna be mad at me for this, but fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like, okay, the difference between me and my brother is this: my brother, he grew up in rougher neighborhoods. He grew up with his mother. I grew up. We have different moms, same dads, of course. That's how you become brothers. Well, in a blood way. So he's technically my half brother, right? Now, the thing is, he knew exactly where Xavier University was. He knew exactly where University of Cincinnati was. He knows exactly where Cincinnati State Technical Institution is. He knows exactly where these places are, right? And consistently chose to never go over there and try something new that might better himself, right? He knew I guarantee you, if you ask him right now, he would know the exact bus and how far it pulls close to that university or community college. I guarantee, yep, the 305 would be there about 3:58 p.m. because it stops right in front of that Rally's on the corner. Like I guarantee he'll tell you all of it, right? I guarantee it. And ain't stepped foot in not one of them. Right? And in reality, he had it easier than me because when I hit 18, I grew up in the suburbs. I didn't know where these places were. I knew where I knew how to get to University of Cincinnati when I was a kid because my mom ended up going there to get her master's, after I was born. I knew how to get to but I still don't know how to get to University of Kentucky. If you told me, I say, AD, I will pay you $1 million if you get the University of if you can get to University of Cincinnati. I'm sorry. If you can get to Xavier University within the hour, I will give you $1 million, but you can't use Google Maps and you can't ask anybody. I wouldn't be able to do it. I still don't know where Xavier University is, but I bet my brother does. Right? So, as far as at least knowing where these places were, like he was light years ahead of me, right? But he grew up with a mother with a single mother in that scenario in a rough neighborhood. He was never pushed by his mother to do pretty much anything of value. It sounds like I'm shitting on him, but it's the reality. And he falls into that group of just being mad at the world, but never really doing anything for himself to become a value to the world. He's still trying to beat the system. Which, okay, you have to beat the system in some form to get ahead. But in beating the system, you must start out with first trying to better yourself first before you go out there and try to beat the system. Because no matter what way you thought of to cheat the system, at least 500 motherfuckers in your county have already thought of that. Right? So you got to get better, sharper, faster, smarter, learning how to undercut shit, learning how to work around shit, right? And that's where the education comes in, is to get you thinking. It's not the fact that and here's the part where people who didn't go to college, here's the main thing that really separates the two, I think, in my opinion. Let me check this. Am I still skipping? Let me check this real fast. Here's the main part that separates, let's say, the formally educated from the non-formally educated in assumptions, right? And a negative is, I mean, and the negative, relatively speaking, in the overall scenario usually gets it. This is going to be from the non-formally educated group. Okay. For example, if somebody goes to school for electronic engineering, right? Just because they have a degree in electronic engineering does not mean they're walking around and remembering everything they've ever learned from electronic engineering, right? And this is something that people who didn't go to universities and colleges, or didn't graduate and have this grudge against formal education. This is what I think. This is the main point, that because nobody talks about these things. Okay, I have a degree in biotechnology. I literally forgot 98% of the shit that I did in biotechnology over the years. I have no memory of. Now, that doesn't mean I can't go back in and brush up on it real fast and know it. It's not about the piece of paper defining you as a human. It's about your brain learning how to think in different and abstract ways. That way you gain that intellectual capacity to be able to walk in the world and figure something out. It's not about walking around and remembering quantum physics, all right? It's about observing it, fully understanding it at least one point in time, and moving on to something else to keep your brain working, right? So that way, when you do need it for a job, whether it's a formal job or you doing YouTube or whatever the fuck, you can look at something and at least start to try to make sense out of it the best you can. That way you become adaptable to society, because society just keeps growing, right? So when I did biotech, I'm sure shit has changed since I did it, 12 years ago? When I got my associates in it, I'm sure like the science, so some part of science has changed since then, right? And something I learned back then is obsolete. They ain't even being touched on anymore, right? Because they done moved on. It's part of it. It's not about, motherfuckers are not walking around remembering physics, every formula in physics, right? It's just about going there, learning it for the time, dumping all the information, and moving on to another stage of life. That's what it really is about, and just showing that you can do that over years. Now, in my opinion, I still don't agree with the college system. I think a lot of it is bullshit. But on the other side of it, I do get other parts too, like I just stated. It shows if you're looking for a job, at least when you have a degree, this degree, typically speaking, is a clear way for them to see, well, at least you know how to read, and you showed up somewhere for 4, 5, 6, 8, 12 years consistently to see something all the way through. That's all it is. That's what it's for, right? For the majority of jobs you're going to find out there, unless you're in a specialized field, like like a legit specialized field. For the majority of jobs, that's what a degree is for. But the thing is, it's hard to communicate that. Like, for example, like with somebody like my brother, who he's been stuck in his lifestyle for so long. He's been stuck in his mentality and lifestyle so long and I was stuck in that in a similar scenario of thinking degrees were for the gods, that he can't even begin to see the other side of it yet. And this goes back to what I said about, was it last night? When I gave the scenario of two men, right, who live on an island. Let's say man A, he lives on an island alone. He grew up as a savage. He grew up having to hunt, kill, run away from animals, makeshift roofs, lived in caves, finding water to drink, whatever, right? So that man A only knows a life as what we would call a primitive man. He may not even know the sun's going to come up tomorrow. He don't know astronomy, nothing, right? He knows nothing. He has no concept of bacteria, none of this shit, right? But he lives as a savage, right? He hunts, kills, whatever, right? Now, man B, let's say he came from New York City last month, right? And he's on a cruise ship, and the cruise ship crashes, and now he's stranded on, let's say, another island. Well, after so much time, unless he kills himself or something like that, he'll be reduced down to savage, right? So he's hunting, killing, whatever the fuck too. But the thing is, Man B knows that the sun's going to come up because he's been educated, right? He knows that we go around the sun, and it's only a matter of time for the sun comes up. He knows that there's a good chance he'll get sick if he kills some animal and the meat stayed out long enough. He already knows these things. So trying to, so let's say if you brought both of them together at the same time on an island, trying to bring them two together to communicate thoroughly on in-depth shit is going to be pretty fucking, especially if they don't speak the same language. It's going to be really difficult to get them completely, usually to get them completely comfortable on the same page, because it turns into a walk of life. It really does. I have to be honest with you. I found your channel 3-4 years ago, and you've opened my eyes to a lot of things I needed to deal with hate towards women and women's nature, the red pill life and family. And I appreciate what you're doing, and keep it up. Yo, thanks a lot, Steves, man. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. But yeah, so back to the whole situation of why do blacks do that? It goes into that gap, that gap and the divide in education. Because there's tons of black people out there who are doing like legitimately gangster cool shit, right? But when you look at the education levels, at the education rates, okay, a certain demographic of people are just not gonna are just not gonna worship this high school shit. Who is that high school, trying to impress people in the club and all this shit? Who is that really gonna appeal to? It's gonna appeal to people of a certain level of mentality, right? And a level of mentality is usually, and especially in North America, it's most of the times associated with the education level. When you go to a museum, you already know you ain't gonna find too many high school dropouts just hanging out in a museum. All right, motherfuckers in that world, they're not gonna pay to go learn something. All right, motherfuckers ain't gonna pay. See, that demographic is not gonna pay to go read something. All right, that's two negatives in their life. That is nothing but two. But I bet you find a whole bunch of motherfuckers that went on further in life and developed just hanging out in a museum. They went off and studied something, did something, found some interest in actually growing as a human. You'll find them hanging out in museums, right? And that's the point that my neighbor downstairs, she came up and watched Kratos one time when I had a meeting over the internet back in the US, and he cried like the whole time with her too. He was just awful with her, like, because Kratos just doesn't like new people. He only likes me, his mom, and his grandma. And everybody else, he'll just look at you and be like, so you gotta like block his eyes so he don't see you and shit. But my neighbor, I was so happy when I heard that she was gonna quit her job where she's working now and go work in a museum. When I found out, like, I'm legitimately happy for her, because there's a good chance she's gonna be around just at least a quality of person who's has the awareness to learn something genuinely new in life, right? Like, that means a whole lot to a person's development. AD, why do women argue against their nature? Because women have terribly low self-esteem. Women have terribly low self-esteem, and okay, in that low self-esteem, any hint that they made, okay, see, step one, logic just does not exist in a woman's brain unless the logic pertains to her getting a man or protection and her doing the least amount of work possible outside of looking fuckable, right? Outside of that realm, there is no more hardcore sense of logic, right? So when a man comes in and the man starts talking to her, okay, as men, what we see is logical. The woman sees it as tearing down her ego, right? So this is why women will fight their own logic, right? Because again, their ego is so flimsy. It's so thin that they can't handle the slightest bit of criticism, right? Because deep down they know there's nothing real. Okay, especially the modern women now, they know there's nothing of much value within them outside of and the ultimate backup plan is to just sit there and hope that you want to fuck them and that'll get them through it, right? So when a man comes in and actually brings up factual arguments, she has nothing to back up, because once you come in with factual arguments after you looked at her body, right, now she knows, oh, I can't pull that trick on him. So what do I do now to try to at least segue him into hoping he can fuck me one day? And now try to be nice, and once she sees like trying to be nice, she may try that, and that doesn't work. Then that's when it gets super combative. Yeah, that's why. But yeah. Seba says only talk to women who are receptive and not. Yo, actually, I'll show you what. Cause I went to cause every Monday and Thursday I go to the library to the Institute of Philosophy here in Prague. And today I went in there and I got to asking about schools, right? And I met is this girl behind the front counter, behind the front desk, and then this dude came in and we stood up there and we talked about schools, the Czech school system for a while, right? Because it's definitely a bit more complicated than the U.S. in many little ways. So after me and the guy talking to girl spoke, I went down to sit because I'm reading a book on Arabic philosophy right now. And because I'm on El Arabi or something like that. I'm on him right now. And she came out and printed out this whole thing and even took notes and gave me notes on what to do with Kratos. Kratos is only he's not even a year old yet. But I'm in his education right now. So actually, I'll tell you what. Let me look up. I'll show you guys the school I'm thinking about sending him to. Hang on. Let me go. Well, no, I could do it in here. I just gotta minimize this way. I'll show you the school I'm thinking about sending to. Where we at? I was watching Batman, so y'all can see my tabs. I was watching Batman earlier today, the cartoon, before I live stream. Let me see. What was it? Is this it? Well, you can't see what I'm seeing now. I'm trying to just go to the website. Nah, it's not it. I'll show you guys this school. Here it is. So this is, oh wait, you guys can't see, hang on. So this is a school. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about, oh wow, it's fucking Streamlabs, dude. Are you fucking serious? It does this weird shit every fucking time. So it's a French school in Prague. Can you guys see that? Yeah, there it is. So preschool, it's expensive too. Yeah, it's in English. There we go. So, school SS all children, blah, 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 blah. So it has 20% other nationalities, 40% French students, 40% Czech students. Because here's the thing, because I figure he's already going to know Czech. He's already going to know English and Czech. So if I put him in, and they have a lot of international schools out here. So if I put him in like another school, he's already going to get, Czech history. I'll take him to a museum and shit so he can learn. I'll teach him shit, right? He's already going to know Czech shit. So I think it'd be pretty interesting and cool if we both can learn French, or maybe I don't know if there's a German international school here. But this was the first thing I looked up today. So they can start at 3 years old. And yeah, it's just, so if you're interested, can you see the website? Yeah, you can see the website at the top. So if you're interested in it, maybe you want to learn something about it. Yeah, this is what they gonna have. I'm thinking about sending them here. Because I called my dad earlier and we talked about it. French, English. Oh, I ain't worried about that. It's about to learn English, to learn English from an early age. Well, he don't have me for that, so you ain't gotta worry about that. But it's expensive though. I think where is it? You find the fees. There's that one area where you can find the fees. I'll show you how much it costs if I can find it. Oh, there it is, right there. So okay, so for the money, just divide the CZK, divide. Oh, can you see that? No, it's not highlighting. Where I just right click that, divide that big number by 20, and that's how much it is in US dollars. So it's not cheap. But this is one thing, like for Kratos' education, that's one thing I would happily, well, not maybe not happily, but I'll go work somewhere or you know, I will go work somewhere and do something to if it came down to it, I would happily go in debt to build his education. You give him a good education. But yeah, so if you want to know how much it costs, divide those numbers by 20, and that's how much it is in US dollars. So the inscript this, and I don't know why it's not translating. Oh, here, let's do this. So the enrollment is $1,000, and then the preschool is what about 20,000. It'd be about 17,000 for 1 year. Say in the preschool. So this is before I could probably cut a deal or some shit like that, or maybe get a deal. If I go teach at a university, they might give me a bigger discount, or a university may have a school like this and have it for much cheaper. I don't know, but I would be willing to put him in something like this. Because here's the thing, man. Like, and I've always voiced my opinion on it. This is something I've never withheld my opinion. I genuinely don't like how Czechs are in the workforce. And it makes sense why why Czechs always get paid less. Like if you find when a company's hiring, it's an international company, and they find out the person's Czech, they automatically pay them like 30 to 40% less, and I totally get it, which is some xenophobic shit, but like I get it. And when you really think about it, it's like, so I'll show you. Like, let's look at the map, right? I'll show you what I mean just by maps of like, it's not really their fault. It's just the logistics and history that played out of why they're gonna be just like they're just gonna be slower. Is because, okay, well, you guys can't see. Hang on, give me like 1 second. So here's the thing. I genuinely do not like how Czechs are in the workforce, and just how they like just socialize. I genuinely don't like it. So I don't want my son to end up like that. Yeah, because like they don't really realize like how rude they can be, or how overall shitty they can. They just don't get it. So, but it kind of has to be like that because in my opinion, just logistically speaking, right? So I don't know if you guys can see that clearly, but see where Czechia is Czech Republic, where this gold star is Czech Republic, right? So Czech Republic is landlocked, right? It's landlocked with no real with no real connection to somebody who's not landlocked, right? And that brings, in my opinion, that brings that brings in a slower mentality. And then when you, on top of that, when you add in the fact that Europe just is awful at uniting anything, is going to lead to the fact where Czech Republic is in a position, Czech Republic and the landlocked countries who don't have a relationship to somebody who has access to water, they're in this position of just sitting down and waiting for a handout. So once they sit down and wait for too long, they start to get mad. But at the same instance, technically they're in the middle, and they're closer to Germany. And I've always shared my opinion between Czech Republic and Germany. And I've never shied away from it in any crowd, anywhere I am. The Czechs think that they think Germany's going to accept them because they're taking that EU money as a form of Germany likes them, when in reality, in my opinion, it's a payoff for immigration. It's like, look, just give, like, and I've always voiced this opinion, just give the Czechs enough beer and just enough money to live on and hope they shut up and stay across that border. Right? But the Czechs are taking it the wrong way. They're thinking, oh, we're a rich country. We're over there with Germany, and Germany likes us. No, Germany does not like you. All right? And I don't mean this to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just the reality. Every time I spoke with a German person and this came up over some beers, oh, them real opinions come out real quick. So roasting the education system and all that shit. Now, it's not like on a personal level, but it's a political level, right? But again, since Czech it's landlocked, it has no options, right? It has no options to get up and be like, you know what? We just gonna take over Austria just because we feel like it next week. Let's do it. They can't do that. Why? Because they don't make much, right? And what little that they can make, they have to get it outsourced from somewhere else. So this is the example I always use when this conversation comes up let's say if next week, if Czech Republic wanted to build up its arsenal to go take over Austria or go take over Italy, right? Let's say they're gonna pull a Napoleon. Well, guess what? They gotta order all these materials, right? And when they order these materials, well, Poland is gonna go, wait a minute. Why did you motherfuckers just start ordering all this steel? Y'all trying to build up some weapons. So in Poland and the word's gonna get out and everybody else gonna figure, oh yeah, Czech Republic, they tried to order some protection. So they must be up to something. They tried to order some weapons. Czech Republic, so every other country is gonna know Czech Republic did it, and so they're gonna be on the guard for it. And so Czech Republic can't do anything. So there's countries and states who end up in this position just end up going, well, who's ever the bigger winner, we'll just side with them right now. So and see, this is how places like this lose their character. They lose that independence. They lose that sense of any type of dominance in the world because they're not in a position to be dominant in any form, in any way. Their dominance is just selling their pussy out to the biggest protector at the time and trying to go, yeah, we're on their side now, right? Because they did that shit with Russia, and then they did the shit with Germany. They did it with a few other countries out somewhere out in the Middle East because they'll send 30,000 troops to say, yeah, we're on their side now. Like, because they can't just be independent because the logistic location. And you can usually tell, in many cases, you can tell the demeanor of a people based off of how the militaries run and their governments run and the logistics of their placement. You can pretty much tell how the demeanor is going to be. Right. And it's the same thing. Like let's use most of Ohio, like where I'm from. Similar situation, right? Landlocked. Ohio has a decent political involvement, but nothing too major. Like motherfuckers wouldn't miss a shit if it was gone, type of thing. But the people there think they're the shit. But they're still kind of waiting on to get grants from other states, get loan bonds from other states. And when it's technically not other states, it's technically from the federal government, but they're waiting on other people to make moves. So, it gets into the people, so the people start sitting around waiting for other shit to happen. They're waiting for something to come out there and give them a job. They're waiting, like it gets put into the people based off logistically speaking, like where they're located, right? And these are reasons why I don't want my son to be educated here. Now, their education system in itself may not be too bad. I'm not faulting that at all. The education system in and of itself may not be bad, but it's all the other shit around it. It's the culture is what I don't want him to adopt too closely, right? That's the part that I don't want him fully submerged in the context of who he's hanging out with and who he's going to be talking to too much. I don't want him around that, right? But yeah. Yeah, I don't like. I would prefer him to be around people who have that sense of be around a group or a people who have that sense of dominance. Because motherfuckers out here do not like the UK. Like motherfuckers out here have issues with. I don't know if you've seen Amsterdam just formally asked UK residents to stop coming because they would just pee on the street and all that shit like that. Come there, they just come there for sex tourism or drugs or to get drunk. So go look it up. Amsterdam, they just formally asked the UK to stop letting people come there because people are just tired of them coming there. And I can kind of understand that because that was a big problem here in Prague. That was about 2 years before COVID happened. That was a big problem here in Prague. They would come here and just get drunk, throw up all over the streets, pee all in the streets. It was just like you always knew it would be them. Now, and I can understand the frustration behind it, but on the other end, I admire the ability to have that confidence to do it, right? And if I had to choose, I would rather somebody who had that blind confidence versus somebody who's like sitting around waiting for a handout, right? I would rather that motherfucker that knows how to get up and do something. AD is racist. I'll be racist, yeah. I don't run from that shit. But here's the thing. I'll be racist, but on the back end, like, I'm racist against everybody. I'm an equal racist. Because there's reasons behind it, right? Some of it's frustration, but yeah, it's reasons behind it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Amsterdam who they formally asked UK residents to stop coming to the country. But yeah, I would prefer I don't want my son to grow up with this. Because here's the thing, the demeanor is fine as long as you stay in Czech Republic, as long as you stay over in these areas and countries that were low key just kind of hoping for a handout. Like, it's okay as long as you stay here. But and again, Czech Republic is also in this other weird zone of it gets put into them like it's like, and then a lot of them don't even realize it. Is that they're also kind of mad that they're just, it's a weird blend, right? It really is. Because it's not poor to be a poor country, but it's not rich to be a rich country. Like, it's like smack dab in the middle. So that has its own issues. Like I stated about 2 weeks ago, how those in the middle class is always the first ones to get hit the hardest with whatever it is. That's with whatever the demographic is, whatever the issues that's going on. The ones in the middle are always the first ones to get hit the hardest, because that's who you're gonna get the most money out of in the quickest amount of time by cutting them out. Because how it usually works is going to be this, right? Let's say in jobs and corporations, right? You always keep the slave labor. You always keep them, and so the most typically now there's going to be different scenarios, so it's not always a 1-to-1 case. But usually what happens is this, and which was happening in Czech Republic now. What happens is when money starts to get tight. The group that you're gonna make, the most cost efficient way to get out of that situation is to cut the middle motherfuckers out and then bring them lower motherfuckers up and pay them half of what you was paying the middle motherfuckers, right? That's gonna be the most cost efficient way to fix it, right? But it's really a sad situation because the middle class, they think if they suck up hard enough and they think if they suck up hard enough and they work hard enough that the higher class is going to accept them, and it doesn't work that way, right? The higher class, that's their own group, their own culture, their own walk of life, right? And the same thing's happening with Eastern and Western Europe, with Czech Republic being smack dab in the middle, with the internet, with all these rates, whether it be for fucking the price of eggs or the price of electricity, whatever the fuck. Czech Republic got hit the hardest, the worst out of every other country in Europe. Right? Or if not every other country, they were in the top 3 to get fucked over the worst, the quickest, and the hardest. Right? That's how it happens. Right? And it really is. It's a shitty tactic, but it's a viable tactic. It's a workable tactic. You know, it's a financial safe tactic to do that. Because yeah, when after COVID hit and all that shit hit, dude, like Czech Republic got fucking smashed. They were the first ones to get hit financially by it. And then this so then the thing what happens is this, like the same theory of what happened to Africa after the Great Scramble for Africa was with the amount of the population that was highly educated, they would leave to move to France, they would left to move to Germany and just had a better life there. So the same situation happens in Czech Republic, right? So when people do build up a business here, right? When they build up businesses, whether it's online or selling dog collars, whatever the fuck, the primary goal is to sell it to North America or sell it to Germans or sell it to them, and then just go off to something else. So when this happens, the actual the country can't grow. Because they're losing everything anything that can give them a hard character and control is being sold off to the richer countries. So it stagnates their growth even further, right? The same theory what happened with Africa to Europe is the same theory what happens to Czech Republic to Western Europe and the West. It further stagnates their growth. So the majority of people end up in the same position. All these jobs here, see, and this is something that Americans don't really know, because we are one of the groups that's in the highest of countries, so we don't see this other side of it. So in America, when you work for a company in America, there's going to be at least a 70% chance at minimum that the country is American. I mean, that the company is American, right? When you when you apply for a job in North America, there is at least a 70% chance when you walked in there, you knew like your first instinct is to think this is an American job. This is an American company, right? You don't even think twice about it. It's just what it is, right? These jobs out here, half of them are shipped in from are call centers from America, call centers from Germany, call centers from Italy. That's just on contract here because they can get away with paying the people here less, so it's more affordable. So you have a whole lot more of that out here. Now you do have Czech companies here too, and usually that's funded through Germany or somebody else, which a lot of Czechs don't even know that. But and they'll call it something in a Czech name, so the Czech people think it's Czech. Like for example, Skoda, the car company Skoda, Skoda started out as a Czech car company, but Skoda was you can Google it. Skoda was literally the laughing stock of automakers because the cars were just so terrible. So what happened was Volkswagen bought Skoda and then upgraded Skoda to becoming a legitimately good car, right? Most Czechs don't even know that. Right? You tell a Czech, but they won't even know the history. I'm pretty sure it was Volkswagen who came and bought them. I thought it was Mercedes at first, but Volkswagen came and bought Skoda. Actually put in a decent R&D department to fucking build it up to become something, right? So you have a lot more of that when you leave, like, the heavy hitters of countries. But in America, like, we don't even, this is foreign to us, right? I had no idea, like, this was the main path of development out here, right? Is to build up your company and then sell it to an American, sell it to a Brit, sell it to a German, sell it to an Italian, and then go off and do something else. That's the path. And like I said, how after the Great Scramble for Africa happened, and the Africans the Africans who were like higher in education or whatever the fuck, they got the fuck out and left, which further stagnated the growth of the countries in there. That's just going to be what's going to happen in this scenario. it's the same thing. The Czechs do the same thing, right? And now the difference, I think the big difference is the language barrier, right? So after that Great Scramble of Africa happened, that's why so many Africans know like at least one European language, because some Europeans went down there and just tried to rape them out they fucking land, just take it from them, right? And they just went down there, and so inevitably they're gonna learn Italian, French, and Spanish, right? And the Dutch, they went off to I can't think the Asian continents. They went out there and just fucking raped them, and they just apologized for that shit. But they're gonna speak these languages, right? Now on the flip side, Czech Republic never had that happen to them in this format. So that further separates them on a deeper level from Germany than, let's say, or Germany, France, and Italy than, let's say, like the average African is not so much separated, right? So that creates this deeper underlying divide of accessibility for Czechs. Well, at the same time, in my opinion, getting an immigration payoff, like it created this awkward sense of tension. If tension is the right word to use. Taghouse says, but if you put into perspective, if you put into perspective America being a republic, who knows how the question where this company from is going to be colored. Wait, put in perspective a republic. Oh, how this question where's this company from is going to be colored. Oh, okay, yeah. So and the U.S. has a different dynamic because in the U.S. it's more about skin color. Now, and the U.S. does not pay anywhere near the same amount of attention to what exact country you're from, unless it's a brown country, they don't care. Like you see, in the U.S., if you say Polish, and this is something that Europeans have a hard time understanding. In the U.S., like for example, this is a great example. When I went back to the U.S. the first time, I was working out in a gym, and there was this girl with the last name of like you know how the typical Polish like it ends with like a XYZ, some shit like that, and the end like WCZ or some shit. They ended with that. So I asked her, I say, hey, are you from Poland? And she goes, oh, no, I just have family in Poland, right? And it starts going on about how she has Polish heritage and all this shit like that, right? And to a bragging level, right? Because that made her exotic in America to be like that. Now, and so for people in Eastern Europe, Central Eastern, you already know where I'm going with this. See, like over in Europe, that's nothing to brag about when you go to Germany or UK, right? They'll fuck around, look down on you for that. Because you from Poland, you a dirty Pole or some shit like that. They gonna look down on you because of that status of the country, right? Where in America, as long as you just came from a white country, if it's foreign, wherever the fuck, like you are automatically, boosted up in status. As long as the country's not brown, you are automatically boosted up to God/goddess level in North America, because North Americans don't know about this dynamic over in Europe. Let's say for example, like Greece, right? Like Greece is the political laughingstock of Europe, right? Because they just fucked up bad, and that goes in a history a long time of just not trusting tax collectors, and that shit just snowballed into what it is now, of just having that lack of trust in terms of taxes, right? So it got to the point where most Greeks just didn't pay taxes, and they just ran into more debt to where now it just start coming out in ridiculous ways, to where Greece literally became the laughingstock of Europe. On a political level, on a political and financial level, Greece is literally the laughingstock of Europe. Now, try to tell an American that, they have no concept, they have no understanding, right? And I say tell most of the rest of the world this, they have most of the rest of the world doesn't know, because what works in America, what works in Europe's favor is that mysticism and not fully understanding how the European Union and the Schengen zone and what the blue banana is. They don't have this understanding of it, right? Europe is a very mystical thing for people who have no direct interaction with Europe. It's a very mysterious situation that's going on. But for those who have a direct direct interaction with Europe, you immediately know what's going on, right? Like like I said, like I love to use Greece and Italy as great examples of being highly of literally getting by off nostalgia. Right? Like literally. Look at the unemployment rates in Italy right now. Italy literally never recouped from the whole 2009 recession that America went through. You remember that? Remember when America, okay, for those older, you remember when in 2008, 2009 where unemployment reached like 10 to 12% and Americans flipped the fuck out? Italy was around 18, 19, 20, 25% and never fully recovered from that shit. Right? But again, you tell an American this, they fuck around, get mad at you for bringing that up because you breaking their image of perfect God, Roman Empire, and all that. You're hurting that image, right? But these are things that Europeans immediately know. Spain, Italy, their unemployment rates have been atrocious, especially amongst younger generations, right? And Greece financially is just the laughing stock of all of Europe when this topic comes up. I'm not bashing the actual Greek people, but the country became a laughing stock, right? Now, again, you talk to Americans, their minds immediately go to Greek mythology and the ancient Greece. So they can't even begin to fathom what Greece legitimately went through, right? How their money was literally ranked, and I'm not making this up. Greece's money was literally ranked junk. Matter of fact, let's look at. Let me pull it up. Look at Greece. Yeah, Greece's credit rating. So yeah, let's do this. See, and these are things that Americans have absolutely no concept. And so when you bring this up in a conversation about Europe, see, especially as an American, you're supposed to be the dumb American who doesn't know this. So you're supposed to blindly just worship all of Europe because you're not supposed to know any of this, right? Because most Americans don't know this shit. Yeah, so this was 12 years ago. This was around the time where they were trying to get into what I think at this point, yeah, it was 2003. Yeah, so this was after they got into the European Union, I think. Yeah, this is a while. Their money. So what Greece had to do was they had to lie to Germany to get into the European Union. Got busted on it. But then what happened was Germany, since the European Central Bank, which is the equivalent of, which is a shitty equivalent of the Federal Reserve not the Federal Reserve, the Federal Bank in North America, which is the bank that's essentially, so in America, the Federal Bank is essentially in charge of helping out a state when it hits when they lose too much money for whatever reason, whatever it is, any emergency. They're the ones in charge of giving out a bond, whatever the fuck, or just a grant to help out in the issue, right? So the European Central Bank is Europe's equivalent of it, but it's a very shitty equivalent of it, right? Because it's based in Germany, right? Germany is essentially running the whole show because it's based off of euros. So what happened in Europe was they tried to unite the euro in this religious unification of Europe to try to save Europe's unity, right? But it failed horrifically. Right? It was just a total failure, right? Euros in and of itself is a failure, right? The stats that you'll pick are severely cherry-picked stats. You have to go read books written by legitimate bankers on this shit who worked in banks in Europe, and they'll pull actual statistics that are not cherry-picked, right? The euro was a complete failure. But what happened was, what Germany is doing is they're giving out bonds that are just ridiculous to countries like Greece, Italy, Spain, and Portugal, I think. And these bonds are absolutely ridiculous. like just terrible. And then and what they're doing is, and then what Germany, essentially Germany is saying is, if you choose to opt out this euro, well, you're gonna get hit with a whole lot more fines, so your country will never recover. So you have to be, it's literally financially enslaved to Germany now, right? And so this is further helping Germany in it. Now Germany's on the back end is trying to give more to the European Union every year, which they're the top contributor to the European Union. You can look that up real fast. Shit, let me do that. Union, let's just say, yeah, so Germany's in the top. Fuck this, allow all. So Germany's given by far the most, right? And see, in these areas, here's the thing, a lot of Europeans don't know this, right? A lot of, you would be really shocked at how many Europeans don't know this, right? And why, and especially Czech, you would be really shocked at how many Czechs have no concept of this, right? And why, you would really be surprised, like, okay, like, in my history of when these let's say, for example, a Czech person will get mad because, or like in politics, they'll get mad because Czech Republic doesn't get listened to when there's an issue with money and all this shit. See, this is why. Because Czech Republic doesn't have the money to compete with this shit. So every year, I think, this is every year, these countries are putting this into the union to try to, essentially trying to build up, Europe and the richer countries. So Germany's by far giving the most. Well, not by far. Well, I'd say by far giving the most. France is close second. The UK is third, and honestly, that's pretty sad that the UK is actually third, given that the United Kingdom is literally a fucking empire. The sun never sets in the UK, right? And I think that's actually pretty fucking pathetic. When they were in, or maybe something happened that lowered the numbers. I don't know. So I'll admit ignorance on my part with that. Italy, Spain, they're given, some. And then you have these countries who are just like very low in the European Union, but it's always these countries that are getting mad. And Czech Republic is down here, right? So can you guys see that? Yeah. So Czech Republic, so the typical Czech will end up getting mad about what Germany, France, and the UK is doing, and Italy and Spain, what the top contributors are doing, right? So I always use this analogy. I always forget if analogy is the right word to use, but I say, okay, so to put it into perspective, imagine if you were raising a 15-year-old kid, right, who worked at like McDonald's 2 days a week, and you're working a full-time job, paying, the mortgage, the electric bill, and all this, and the 15-year-old kid is walking around mad because their parents ain't gonna buy him a new iPhone, right? You see how ridiculous that looks? See, yeah, that's the position that Czech Republic's in. You are the kid who's mad because mommy and daddy is not gonna buy him an iPhone, right? That's the financial position that. Now, I'm not bashing Czech Republic for not having money. Life happens, things happen. I'm not, looking down on them for it, but understand your position. My thing when it comes to bitches, when it comes to countries, when it comes to finances, when it comes to self-esteem, courage, character, whatever the fuck. My thing is always this: understand where you are and what your position is, and just work with the best with what you have, right? Don't get mad at other motherfuckers for doing, all this shit. Just do the best with whatever you have, right? That's always been my stance. But even something as little as this, you would be surprised how many Europeans who try to make fun of dumb Americans don't even know that this website even exists or these stats. You would be highly shocked. Trust me on that. You would be highly shocked. Just these basic shit like this. Or what I showed earlier about Greece. Yeah, Greece 12 years ago, Greece's credit rating was junk status. And to be fair, to be honest, it hasn't gone up much better since then. Statistically speaking, it hasn't gone up much better. Yo, what's up, Easy P? I've been meaning to call you, man. I've seriously been meaning to call you. I've been meaning to call you. Yeah. But yeah, you would be shocked at how many Europeans don't know a lot of this shit. But Americans are supposed to be stupid, right? It really is shocking. Like when you like, yeah. But back to the original topic, I don't want my son to get too engulfed in like I said, my neighbors, the neighbors I know here are all pretty good. I don't have any issues with any of these neighbors. And to be fair, on this street is going to have a whole different quality of person on it on average. So just by the quality of everything, you're going to have just a different quality of person. And pretty much the next step from here is just to go buy a nice house somewhere. Um, but that can go bad too. But I don't. As far as people here, I wouldn't have an issue. But it's like going out there in the world in that work. Like now, I fully understand. Well, not now. I've always kind of understood it, but it's really hitting hard now. Of remembering how rich kids, their parents would not let them work at McDonald's, right? They're not gonna let them go out there because they ain't gonna let them intermingle with that mentality and culture, right? With that mentality and culture, that's a big part of who you are. That pretty much is who you end up becoming for majority of the population, right? And I remember stories or just knowing people who parents would not, they wanted to go work at McDonald's. When I would go hang out with them, they would say like, I want to work at McDonald's. My parents won't let me. Right. And when at the time, I was like, why ain't they gonna let you? Don't you want a job and work? But now I get it. Like now I get it. I get it. That culture. Because I was watching, I'm gonna get off here in a minute, man. But I was watching a clip of the rich guy, the rich dad, poor dad dude. He was talking. And I think he has a lot of real shit to say. And one thing I really agree on was teaching your kids to work to not work for money. Because it was something along the lines of his rich dad wanted him to come. Okay, his poor dad wanted to pay him for work. And I touched on this last night in that sociology theory, what he said pretty much fits that sociology theory of once you learn how to work for a wage, you become incredibly isolated. Once you get that, become conditioned for that of I work if you pay me this wage. Once you fall into that, like especially hourly wage, once you fall into that and you become conditioned like that, you become immediately alone, individualistic, right? You become immediately separated, right? Because now you're operating off this whole I'm gonna do this for this hourly wage, right? And it's fucked up. It really it's fucked up. And the rich dad poor dad, he said his rich dad said, well, come work for me and I'm not gonna pay you, right? But you're gonna be around me and I'm gonna teach you shit, right? That path is by far getting around that culture of people doing something and just acting and moving is far more beneficial than going out and work for a wage. Now I know the other side of the argument is, well, people got to live and maybe they came from a family that don't have much money. Yeah, like all this plays in part of it. And then that's why I say before that poverty trap is a fucked up trap to get looped into. That poverty trap, like you came from like poorer parents and you had to get out there and work. That is included in the poverty trap, right? Maybe your parents weren't, aware enough to help you out in this and do whatever they had to do, whatever. Like I'm to the point, like I know too much now to intentionally let my son go out there and do that. Like I've learned too much on my own to happily, like if he really want to do it, I probably let him do it, but I wouldn't be happy about it, right? I let him work with me, or if I know somebody, I let him go out there with them. And they pay him. Like, for example, like when I had interns here or there, like I would pay them. I give them food. I give them shit that was never in the agreement originally, right? I would give them something for just being there, right? I would do that, right? But most motherfuckers, okay, I would try to do it to get them off of that working for a wage shit. But again, I understand everybody doesn't have it like that, right? And again, and that's why I said earlier that poverty trap is it's a fucked up trap to get stuck in. Easy peasy. What's up? What's up, JR? Does Europeans have the luxury to be ignorant? Your son has a great dad. Stay based in a cringy society. Yeah, yeah. And to be fair, Americans are a lot of Americans are the same way. The ignorant thing. The American ignorance and European ignorance are two different types of ignorance. American ignorance comes from being just being secluded from the rest of the world, being alone, and then the class separation, essentially with the foundations based off of race separation, that it plays a big part into it too. I say it's a mixture of those two that plays in hand. It's like I said earlier, like in America, if a person's bragging about being from any country, as long as it's a white country, America, you're automatically, you're European. So you're, see, because in America, since America is so united, Americans tend to overestimate being united for the rest of the world. That sense of genuine unification. Like in America, if I get in a car and I drive 2,000 miles in one direction, I get out the car, I'm still American. I'm still welcomed by other Americans, relatively speaking, welcomed by other Americans, right? Whereas in Europe, if you're Italian and you get up and drive to Lithuania, you still Italian, bro. Right? You ain't Lithuanian. I mean, they might accept you, but no matter how hard you try for the rest of your life, you still gonna be Italian, right? Whereas in America, if I come from Ohio and I drive to California, after 4 or 5 years, motherfuckers wouldn't even question if I came from California. It doesn't matter. I'm American, right? Where again, as in Europe, it never fully gets to that. Unless you have a great accent and you look like, a Spanish person or something like that, you will never be Spanish. All right. And you can say the same thing about America, like an Ohioan will never be a Californian, but in America we don't even care about that. You wouldn't even know unless the person pulled out their ID and you seen it, type of thing, right? You would just never know because you're American. And I think Americans severely overestimate unification in the world. And I will say I definitely did, and I still do to this day, right? I will still call Europe a country. I will still call Europe a country. I will still call Africa a country. I've been here for 7 years. I will still call Europe a country, right? Still do it. And I have to go back and think, oh no, wait a minute, these aren't states. These are, the Czech Republic is its own country. Germany is a country, right? I will still, because I think it's that American overestimating of the typical American overestimating the ease of unity, right? I think we just habitually do it because we were born into unity on that massive scale, relatively speaking. I mean, we still segregated, but as a continent, as a country and continent, as a country, we overestimate. As long as it's just United States proper, right? Now, we don't count the satellites as connected to us. We never do, and that's fucked up too. And that's a whole nother topic that I don't have enough time to cover on right now. But that's an entire other topic that's really fucked up. And nobody talks about that shit, right? How North America we don't associate with the territories. Like, unless you're in the military, motherfuckers don't even know. They don't care to know, right? But yeah, European ignorance, in my experiences coming through it, is definitely, it's harder to understand it, especially as a new American coming over here, because on one regard, I think like the typical European is much better at dressing things up, especially if they're bilingual or multilingual, because it's easier to just like get through a conversation and go speak another language and and nobody understands you type of shit. It's easier to like flip in and out of that shit. But the ignorance here seems and this is a weird scenario. It's a weird thing But the ignorance here seems to come off of like the Greece and Italy, the Greece and Rome nostalgia, right? Like you can't say anything bad about, Rome because the Roman Empire. That's just it. Which has nothing to do with now. But you can't say anything bad because it was the Roman Empire. You can't say anything. If you say anything negative, then you hate Europe now. Like, my goal was not to hate Europe. My goal is to maybe just focus on something, relatively negative about Europe. Right. But no, because I'll bash anything. But at the same instance, like America has a strength. So I'll just bash America because I feel like I'm always bashing Europe. Let's bash America. The fucking education system is fucked. The healthcare system, fucked. It's just full of greed. Fuck. The food quality there, terrible. Even if you go to an expensive restaurant, it's not great. When I went back to America after eating in Czech Republic, and motherfuckers don't even like Czech food, but when I went back to North America after being here, the first shocking thing was this. Eating fast food again. So when you eat fast food out here, majority of times when you go out to eat here in Czech Republic, now to be fair, when I was in Germany, the fast food there wasn't great. But when I was in Czech Republic, most times when I go out to eat here, the food is usually hot. I mean, like fresh hot, right? And it's not that heat lamp bullshit. Like, it's like moist and hot. If you go and get like KFC, it's going to be fresh, hot, and it's going to be juicy. And it's not going to taste like in America. You go to KFC in America, it has that like weird steroid taste feel to it. I don't know how to like explain any other way, but you can tell the chicken was on steroid. You can tell it was like some hard steroids type of shit. When I went back to the U.S., the food, I remember I went to KFC and because I showed her the original recipe, because I don't think they have the original recipe here. It's just all crispy. That's all they really do here. So I showed her the original recipe through the FaceTime chat to show her. Now, one shocking thing here, and I told her, I just never paid attention. I would always go to McDonald's and get fries. That's always been like a habit. I have a soft spot for McDonald's fries, no matter where I go. And I was paying 60 Czech crowns for fries. And like I said earlier, if you want to translate the money, just divide it by 20, and that's what it is in US dollars, roughly speaking, roughly divided by 20. I was spending $3 for fries that would be $1 in North America. And I told her, I was like, wait a minute. So here's the deeper level on the currency. So step one, let's say you spend 60 crowns, which is about $3 for fries, right? So just at that advertising price, it's $3. Now, the next step is to equivalent it to the culture's average earning potential, like their spending power. So when you do the math on it, the natives here are spending $6 for fries, for just a regular fry, right? I'm like, oh my God, now I get why this shit is a real. When you see motherfuckers eating at McDonald's, it be like motherfuckers, they ain't broke, right? I get it. These motherfuckers are spending, in their spending power money, they're spending $6 for fries. There is no way on earth I would ever spend $6 on some McDonald's fries, bro. No. With the spending power equivalency, no. I'm not spending $3 on them fries. After I really thought about it, I've been here for 7 years. I just never thought about it. I'm just so used to getting fries and just using Apple Pay, getting the fuck out of there. I never looked at it. And I thought about it. I'm like, get the fuck $3 for some fries? You got me fucked up, man. No. There ain't no dollar menu. Ain't no dollar menu out this motherfucker. So when you think, so when you spend, you have to think about the spending power of that country. So let's say when you go to KFC and you get a meal, the meal is going to come to about 200 Czech crowns, right? Which is going to be about $8 to $10 for me as an American, right? That's literally what it's going to, when I use my car, it's going to show up in my bank statements as $8 from KFC, right? But again, you have to double that for the spending power of the Czech crown here for the average worker. So that's double. These motherfuckers are spending $16 for a KF with their spending power money, because they're making half of what Americans make, right? These motherfuckers spending $16 on a basic KFC. They ain't no hell. I'm not. I wouldn't spend that on that. Take me to the grocery store and get me some fresh fruit, some fresh vegetables. I'm just never touching KFC again. At that point, fuck that. It's too much. But it's that status of the American restaurant, and these motherfuckers are spending. Got me fucked up. I will tell them, don't buy that shit. No, it's too much for that. I wouldn't even eat out, because the average meal gonna run you about 180 crowns. So you double that shit. What? Okay. So how I see it is, if an average meal is gonna be about, because after inflation went up about 200 Czech crowns for a meal now, so that's about $8 to $10, right? And you double that to the average, okay? Because the average Czech person is making half of an average American wage. So relatively to them, that's double the price for their spending power. I wouldn't even eat out anymore. I just wouldn't do it. I don't care how much money I had. That's a terrible price for food. It don't matter how much money I have. All right. That's not a good price for fried chicken. All right. Point blank. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to that girl. I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna buy me a deep fryer and I'm gonna fry my own fucking chicken. I'm just not doing that. With $1 million in the bank, I'm not touching that. I'm not going to KFC no more. That's a bad price. Unless I'm starving. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Because I'm actually hungry now. I'm gonna eat some baby food. I'm gonna tell you what, baby food is actually fucking gross. And I figured out why it's gross is because they take the salt out because the baby's kidneys can't handle salt yet. So it has no salt in it. If you get baby food and you just mix some salt in with it, it tastes fucking great. And that's what I'm going to go eat right now. I'm going to go in there. I always buy the 12-month-old baby foods because they bigger. I'm going to show you what I'm going to eat. I'm going to go in there and grab it right now. So this is, now Kratos don't eat this because his teeth ain't grown all the way in, so he can't chew yet. But I experimented with this because I said, well, if my baby's eating it, then I want to know what he's eating, right? So I'm gonna fuck with it. At least I'm gonna fuck with every flavor. You know what I mean? Just to taste it, see what it tastes like, see what he's fucking with. So this is what I'm getting ready to eat tonight. It's just some noodle shit, right? From DM. And what you do is you can boil you some pasta and then mix in some oil and some salt with this shit. And it is fucking great. And this is a life hack that motherfuckers don't know about because they too afraid to go buy baby food if they don't have a baby, or be too afraid to even try it because they're not a baby, right? This costs about $1, right? And I tell you what, for motherfuckers going out there buying KFC for fucking $10. You better get you a baby food for $1 and boil you some noodles or some rice and mix some salt and oil with that bitch and have you a delicious meal. That's what I'm getting ready to eat. While I'm talking on this $1,500 MacBook, I'm gonna go there and eat some baby food. Look. Hey, that whole thing of trying to show off and look good for other people, that's a waste of time. Motherfuckers out there spinning they whole. I'm gonna tell y'all something else I've been doing lately. So I found out about this website called Vinted, right? And I got to looking at it, and I said, you know what? This ain't half bad. So what Vinted is a website that sells used clothes. So it's like, so in America, we had this thing called Plato's Closet in Ohio, Plato's Closet. So, but the thing is, clothes over here are so much more expensive than they are in America. They're a lot more expensive. They're like some clothes are literally double the price over here than they are in North, especially Levi's shit. It's double the price over here. So a good pair of Levi jeans will cost you $150 over here, easily $100, easily, on the low end. So she showed me this site called Vinted, and I got to looking at this shit. I was like, yo, you mean I could buy a sweater, a good quality sweater for somebody selling it for $15? So what I did was this. So, cause I got 2 sweaters coming tomorrow. I got a pair of Levi jeans coming tomorrow. This girl from Poland, and no, I'm sorry, it's a Czech girl. Her boyfriend probably had the jeans before me. They sold them for about $10, so I bought them. And I got I got a Gant sweater and a clothes company sweater or something like that. And I spent about $15 on each pair, on everything I ever bought off there, right? On Vinted. Secondhand clothes, because I just don't care. I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore, right? So what I did was this, because it looks like it's too good to be true, right? The site, it looks like, if for real, it looks like it's too good to be true. So what I did was, I went to Gant, I went to these stores that people are selling shit, and I went there and looked and I analyzed the clothes, right? So I know what the real clothes are, what the real Tommy Hilfiger, the real Gant, to really pay attention. I looked at all the tags, all the stitching, I analyzed all this shit, right? So when I would buy it, well, because I already had Levi jeans, so I knew what Levi jeans, what real pair of Levi jeans would look like, type of, and feel like and all that. Because I've never bought anything from Gant or any of these other brands. So I went to the store and analyzed them closely. So when I get it, now I know how to look at it and tell, okay, yeah, like this is probably real. Like analyze the tags, all that shit to know if it's real. And I've had great success with it. So I'll just buy, like, if I ever need clothes. Unless it's like, I'm not going to buy underwear and socks secondhand. That's probably where I'll stop it. Like T-shirts, underwear, socks, I'll stop it. I'll cut it off at there. But for pants, especially coats, pants, shirts, I'm going on Vinted, bro. I ain't going to shop at no mall. You spending $150 on no pair of pants. You'll be fucked up. I'm chilling. I sit with baby food and Vinted and let everybody know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm out of here. It's 10:09. I'm gonna go eat. So hey, y'all have a good night, man, and have a good weekend. I'll catch you on the flippy flip, man. Thanks everybody who liked, tuned in, donated, everything. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. I'm out.